Konbanwa, minasan, domo arigato gozaimasu. And you are tuned in to another exciting episode of live Clow card readings. Super Kami Guru Alucard des. Hi. And yes. So, we have a lot to discuss tonight, of course, but we will do our usual readings. And if anybody would like their fortune told, just comment gender, zodiac sign, and if you would like career, romance, or general future in the comments. Now, please check out the description because there is many exciting and important details in that. And if you don't mind, please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already because that helps us. And definitely check out the playlist with all of my released music so far. And just so you know, there will be about 10 more albums starting to be released following next month. One is going to be released on Hitomi Shimatani's birthday, like I did last year. That's a very special day because, well, I love her and she was born on that day. So we're going to release SKGA Goes to Japan first. And please stay tuned for the rest of this episode where we will give more details. See the shirt? Hope you like it. Japan, got that when I was in Japan, and I'm excited to go back there again next year, probably June. Anyways, let's start off with a romance reading for myself. So 5 cards. Actually, you know what? I gotta do it right. I gotta give the cards the right energy. So, all right. Oh, great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me a message regarding my romantic situation. Release. The shield, the create, the mirror, the nothing, and the glow. Okay. So first we have the shield card, which symbolizes protection, keeping my guard up, and lately I find I have been doing that. Then we have the create card, which means it is in the process of creating something beautiful and magical, and I can shape this relationship or any relationships to come into whatever I wish, which is very good. Then we have the mirror card, meaning that the romantic situation I am moving towards will actually be very good for me in the sense it'll be a reflection of my own natures reflected back at me. This person will be very equal and even with me, which is very good news. Then we have the nothing card, which indicates that right now it seems as though the relationship isn't progressing. It seems like nothing is really happening, but usually nothing happens before everything happens, if that makes sense. And then lastly, we have the glow card, which means that this relationship will actually light up, sparkle, and glow brighter than any other relationship I've been in up to this point. So, very good cards to get for romance. Next, we will do career, and then we will do general future with a 10 card draw. Oh, great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me a message regarding my career situation. Release. All right, the mist, the Libra, the fiery, the loop, and the dream. Okay, so first we have the mist card, which means things might be a little unclear, a little hazy. There might be certain obstacles that might actually be withering away to make progress and make space and room for bigger things to come with my career. The Libra is indicating that now is a time of finding balance. Balance with all aspects of my career as well as balance with life in general. Not overworking, not underworking, finding just the right mix. Sort of like the Millennium Scale that we have here. See how it has to have balance? Right now, because there's the pachinko ball, the scale would look more like this. However, we need to have balance. And once we have balance, then things will be a lot more stable. All right, so next we have the fiery card, which indicates a fiery passion. I'm very passionate for a lot of the music I've been lately doing. I'm very driven. I'm determined. I'm kind of fired up in a sense, which is very good. The loop card means it's almost become like second nature. By the way, fiery card, and then the loop. So the loop means I am sort of in a loop right now where it's become second nature and things are often repeating themselves as far as my daily routine and how I do things. And we have the dream card, which indicates that there might be guidance or visions of clarity in my dreams to come regarding my career, which is very good. Good cards for a career reading. And of course, next we will do the general future reading. Let's see what we get here. So we'll draw 10 cards with this. We'll do 5 at first, and then we'll put another 5 upside down and reveal them slowly. Oh, great Clow cards of Kurorito, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me guidance regarding the direction of my general future. Release. All right, so we have the move, the return, the wave, the light, the maze. We'll flip these next 5 upside down for now. They will hold the answer to whatever questions or guidance we need clarifying the first 5 cards. So we have the move card, which indicates movement, changing, heading in a specific direction, which is always good. The return card indicates going back to the past. So reflecting on things of the past has been very is a very good natured thing, I should say. And lately I've been doing that. Even with one of the new songs I recorded recently, a love story trilogy, it felt like it was like 3 songs in one. And I was reflecting on how my journey had begun with music and romance since the start of my career, when I dropped Impulse, my debut album. Next we have, because that was the return card, next we have the wave card, which indicates going with the flow. There's a very intense emotion of things lately, moving towards things in the future, which is actually a good thing, but not to overstress and fight the current circumstances in this case. Then we have the light card, which indicates, a bright future to come. Things are going to look very bright. There's going to be a lot of great things coming in the nearby future to look forward to. And then we have the maze card, which indicates feeling lost, having many paths I could take, many directions, but in the end, I will arrive where I am meant to be. So that's the first 5 cards. Now, to get more clarity, we will flip these next 5 cards. All right. So, oh, great Clow cards of Kurorito, reveal to me what the next message from these 5 cards shall be. Release. The big, the change, the through, the time, and the float. Okay, so first we have the big card, which indicates big things are coming, which is very good. Big things are coming. Big changes, big surprises, big things probably regarding my romance and my career situation. Then we have the change card, which indicates changing who I am, going through changes, life changing, but change is good most of the time. Because in Buddhism, we believe everything is impermanent and inevitable. Then we have the through card, which indicates I'll be going through things. I might feel stuck at times, but that it is necessary to get stuck, to get unstuck, to go through things. Then we have the time card, which indicates that the time is approaching That's why the hourglass is dropping sand. So with the time card too, as you could see with the hourglass he's holding, the time also indicates that things are about to happen. That the time is either now or it's approaching very soon. And then lastly, we have the float card, which indicates I'm going to feel like I'm floating. I'm going to be rising to new elevations in my general future, and things are going to be on a higher level and bigger and grander, hence why we drew the big card, than it has yet to be seen, which is very great. So that is our reading. Of course, if anybody tunes in and would like their own fortune told, just comment gender, zodiac sign, and if you would like career, romance, or general future. 10 cards for general future, 5 for romance, 5 for career. So that is our reading for the day. And now we will get into the discussion part of our show. So, as a lot of you know, I have been reading this throughout the show before, and I actually went back and started rereading it. I'm currently on Goddard's book, At Your Command, which I will just read a little passage today that I related when I joined Risho Kosakai Buddhism to my Buddhist mentor, because it talked about Buddhism. Not only did Goddard study the Bible, which is clearly evident in his lectures and in his books, but clearly he must have also studied Buddhism as well. So I'm just going to read this short little passage where he describes it. At another time, I lay on my bed, and with my eyes shut as in sleep, I brooded on the mystery of Buddha. In a little while, the dark caverns of my brain began to grow luminous. I seemed to be surrounded by luminous clouds, which emanated from my head as fiery, pulsating rings. I saw nothing but these luminous rings for a time. Then there appeared before my eyes a rock of quartz crystal, while I gazed upon it, the crystal broke into pieces, which invisible hands quickly shaped into the living Buddha. As I looked on this meditative figure, I saw that it was myself. I was the living Buddha whom I contemplated. A light, like the sun, glowed from this living image of myself with increasing intensity until it exploded. Then the light gradually faded, and once more I was back within the darkness of my room. So, this actually ties into the Risho Kosakai Buddhist practice, the fact that we are all interconnected, that everything is everything, and that we all have Buddha nature within us. So that's why I thought that was really beautiful to share that today, and I really like it. Just so you also know, later on I'm going to start reading Stephen King's Desperation. I have so many Stephen King books that I still haven't read that I really want to get reading. I also need to start working more on my book about going to Japan, and my book about Hitomi and Kurisu and their magical adventures trying to destroy the Black Demon. Hitomi, of course, is the genie who comes out of a ruby. And this was inspired by my Ruby statue, which you could see. Ruby is a character in Dark Cloud, one of my favorite video games. So that's where the idea came about, her character. And of course, the reason I named her Hitomi is also because of my love for Hitomi Shibatani. So a combination of two things. Also, some things I figured I would show today just because they're kind of cool and they're things I didn't really show from my Japan trip yet, are a miniature katana, which you could see actually quite sharp. Like if you sharpened it a little more, it could really cut through something. But the design is cool. You could definitely use it as a letter opener if you wanted. Me personally, I would rather just keep it as a souvenir keepsake. But it is cool nonetheless. And of course, it's got the key ring on it, so you could even use it like a keychain. And here we have a shuriken, a real ninja star. Now, this isn't a fake. If I actually threw this at somebody, it would kill them. Like, I got this in Japan just because it was very cool. When I went to see the Odawara Samurai Museum, they had this as a souvenir. And the woman who had went with me, Akiko, actually recommended it as a souvenir, explaining that it was real. Now, it might be a little difficult to see, so I'll bring it really close. But there's actually a cool design on it as well. But like I said, this definitely isn't a toy. It's a real ninja star. If I threw it at somebody, it would kill them. So don't don't go buy one at Odawara and think it's a joke and just throw it at somebody, because it could have serious consequences. All right. So now that I've showed that, I will update everybody about the dueling club and the plans for my tournament in the future. Now, with my tournament in the future, I have decided to get more cards and basically start building 16 different decks. That way, if we do get enough people to join, we would need 15 members other than myself. We could host a tournament. And what I was thinking is everybody would pay $10, and then the winner would get 100, and the rest we will donate and give to charity, or I would keep my for myself for card expenses. If more people want to come and just watch and don't actually want to play, that would get donated to charity. And the charity I would want to give the money to is mental health awareness, because there's so many people out there struggling with mental health issues and illness in this country. And even though we have free healthcare, it's very horribly neglected and not taken seriously. Like, it's not until somebody's about to die from it that they actually seem to give a damn, which is just morally wrong, and that needs to change. So that's my reason behind that. Now, with music, to give everybody a little more of an update about that, the plans for that will go that SKGA Goes to Japan will drop September 4th. He told me his birthday. And then the month after that, um, October 5th, which is actually Shannon's birthday, which ironically, I actually made a song called Fuck Shannon recently because she just ghosted me and played me like a fool. And I spent money buying pizzas to have on dates with her, and she never showed up for her, so she's just a bitch. But you know what? Just to have kind of an ironic joke about it, I said I was going to release an album dedicated to her on October 5th. I never did. And I've never actually released an album in October yet. So I'll release it on that day. And that will be Dark Cloud Volume 1. Then November, we will drop I'm Afraid of Canadians. December 1st, we'll drop A Point to Prove. November, I'm not sure which date. I'm thinking maybe November 25th. Not sure yet, though. But, yeah, we'll drop it then. And then next year, because that would be 4 albums, we will literally have 6 more albums to drop, which we will drop one every month all the way to June when I go back to Japan. And that's when I will release Going Back to Japan, like the part 2 to SKGA Goes to Japan, which will have the other half of the songs I recorded, parts of which in Japan. So that's the album plans. Very excited for those. There will be a lot of great new albums to drop. I've been making material steadily. I'm still trying to get Retrospect to show up at the studio and make more albums. I want him to complete his album, but he gets drunk a lot and he works a lot and he just makes up excuses. And he's got one song done. He does have his own solo track done, but he's very lazy and procrastinates at times, which is why he still doesn't have an album out. But he's appeared on so many songs. That's why it's like, man, you appeared on so many songs. It's about time you make your own record, right? Like, and I'm willing to help him and cover most of the costs for free. So you think he would have more incentive to get off his butt and do it, but we'll see. But the good news and excited thing is that the DWC album, District Wentworth Crew, which is Denine, Vlad the Impaler, and Little Buckingham, will also be released next year. and it will feature a few appearances from me. It'll probably be released under Super Kami Guru Alucard Presents DWC, the album. So that way I don't have to pay a fee to TuneCore for giving that another artist an album out, right? So it'll technically be my album release, but it'll be their showcase and their spotlight, which will be very good because they've been making appearances with me since the debut album, which a lot of people already know. They're alter egos of mine, and they're basically like my concept of doing voice acting and impersonations turned into rap parts, which is very cool. So yeah, that's definitely things to look forward to. Now, with Hitomi, I've been following many things by her. I definitely hope to go see her again next year in Japan. If she's doing a concert, I definitely love to go and see her perform again because she put on an amazing show, literally the best concert I've ever went to. And if possible, I would also love to see Minori Chihara perform. She's performing a lot of shows right now, but I'm back in Canada, so unfortunately I can't attend them. But hopefully, if she's doing any next year, there will be some that will be taking place while I'm in Japan. And of course, I'm still waiting for my grandfather's will to finalize. So that will make the big difference of when exactly I will go back to Japan. And hopefully, if it's enough money when it's settled, I'll even be able to move there because that would be the ideal goal. Now, as far as romance, I've met a lot of different people lately. I think Yuki likes me, but I don't know how serious she is about me. That Nicole girl is really into me, but I'm not really into her. And then I met some other people. So it's kind of been like juggling like spherical crystals into orbit lately. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, pretty much to give a little more information about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling Club, because I did explain that there would be a lot more decks that would be featured in this club. To basically list off all the different decks, there will be a Yugi Moto deck, a Seto Kaiba deck, a Joey Wheeler deck, a Maximilian Pegasus deck, a Rio Bakura deck, which will be my deck, a Merrick Ishtar deck, Shadi Yagshamesh deck, Odeon Ishtar deck, Mako Tsunami deck, Weevil Underwood deck, Rex Raptor deck, My Valentine deck, a Paradox Brothers deck, a Bandit Keith deck, and Arcana Le Cruz. Should actually be Arcana Pandora because I found out that was actually what his name was in the Japanese manga originally, and in the Japanese stuff was Pandora. So Arcana Pandora deck. And then Ishizu Ishtar. Now, I wrote 16 down here, but the one thing I'm trying to figure out is I think I had plans to have a Loomis and Umbra deck as well. But since there's already 16, the Loomis and Umbra deck will probably be combined into Shoddy's deck to make it a more fortified, unique style playing. So it'll be like playing as Loomis and Umbra, but it will also have like the traditional style of Shoddy, which means Exodia, in the mix as well. So as I start customizing these decks and slowly buy all the cards to build all these, which is going to cost a lot of money, I'm going to have to slowly work towards it over the next couple months, but eventually I'll get there. Also, I was planning to sell off some of the cards that are left over after, if possible, but if not, maybe give the extras to Retrospect and my nephews, like as a gift, right? Especially when my one nephew Kieran, because unfortunately he can't duel me anymore, which really sucks. But and he lost money from coming down here and dueling me because, well, it's a long story. But let's just say a woman named Julie was ruining Yu-Gi-Oh! To quote the abridged series, stop ruining Yu-Gi-Oh! But basically, because he would come down here and stay, and my mom would drive him to work, he basically would be late and he wouldn't get paid every day he was late. So when he would stay here and play Yu-Gi-Oh, he was actually losing money. So he can't come back. I feel bad he even lost money. So I decided, you know what? With the extra cards, I'll probably make him his own little deck. That way, sort of like he got something for the days he lost money. I do feel really bad about that. But and also, like I said, it sucks that this Julie woman who I've never met, which I don't like already because of this, she ruined Yu-Gi-Oh. So stop ruining Yu-Gi-Oh, Julie. It's terrible. Anyways, that's pretty much most of the updates I had in mind to share. We're actually a little early compared to normal with the show and everything. But that's, of course, because I was kind of hoping more people would have tuned in and maybe somebody else would have wanted their fortune told. But unfortunately, nothing. That's why you notice I'm pretty short. I'm ahead of my time right now because normally somebody would have asked for their fortune told, and that would have extended the program to the 30-minute mark. Whereas we're just about to hit the 26-minute mark, and I pretty much used up all my material. So, since there is no fortunes to be told, I guess I'll put these cards back in the box. And of course, definitely keep tuning in and stay tuned to the show because every week we do this, we have new updates. We tell fortunes every week. Please check the descriptions if you would like to qualify for bonus readings by donating to PayPal or by buying the album. Just show me proof that you bought the album or any of the albums, pretty much, and you would qualify depending on how much you spent. Basically, if you bought $5 worth of songs, you get the $5 mark. If you bought like a whole album, $9.99, I'll round it to 10 and give you the $10 bonus. So basically, it applies if you buy the albums as well, or if you just donate the money to PayPal, that is also sufficient. So, in fact, I don't even know if I left the PayPal link in the description. So, if anything, maybe after this is done, I will put the PayPal link in the comments just because I keep forgetting to do that. I swear I don't think I put it in the last one either, but I got to remember to set everything up early and put it in next time because I usually put that in the description as well. But, anyways, that pretty much is our show for the day. I hope everybody enjoyed tuning in who does tune in. I know some people didn't make it who usually come and check it out later. Hopefully, you'll enjoy today's show. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I've honestly ran the well dry very early today because we didn't have anybody requesting their fortune being told. Kind of wish more people would come in and offer some crowd participation because that is the whole point of why we do this show. And of course, I did share all the links on social media. But you know what? Since we got a couple minutes to kill time, let's just check Japan Cupid and see if any friends or people have messaged me just to add like a little bonus to round off our time together here. Okay, so, all right, let's see. Yeah, we do have a few new messages. Unfortunately, the one person I told to check out the show did not, which sucks. Somebody said they are doing well and asked how I'm doing. I'm doing well. Just doing my YouTube show right now. Okay. And then, of course, it's almost like reading fan mail, right? Okay. So next we have a message from Mizu-chan. In the noon, rain was stopped, so I went to supermarket and no customer. I could buy expensive pair cheaper than usual. Oh, sounds wonderful. I guess there's an up to every downside. All right. And then, okay, let's see what else we have. Oh, somebody was wishing me good night. All right. Oh, okay. So they basically wanted to add me on Facebook. Um okay, have a good night. Sleep well. talk more soon. Yeah. All right. And then the last message is in Japanese, which would translate to traveled, settled, work. I make music for a living so I can work anywhere as long as I have my laptop. I would like to settle there eventually, but if not right away, at least I can travel for vacation. And that message that I'm responding to came from Haru-san. Okay. So that is all our messages. Of course, it is like reading fan mail, but and of course, um, if anybody else definitely has any requests for the future regarding other things, please let me know. And I will try to incorporate those into the show because I always like crowd participation. I like your suggestions, and all you have to do really is just comment, and we would go from there. So, okay, we've now finally broken over the 30-minute mark. So, I will do our closing now. All right, so domo arigato gozaimasu, minasan. Oyasumi nasai. Super Kami Guru Alucard. Peace out. Matane.